Hello, everyone. Welcome to Secrets of Saltmarsh. This is our Greyhawk Patreon campaign featuring Ghosts of Saltmarsh and all of these wonderful Patreons. Shout out to all of our Patreons. Without their support, any of the one-shots, marathons, and three-shots that we do on this channel would not be possible. You can check out this link here in the chat to see what you can get for being a Patreon. We also have a YouTube. You can find all of our previous episodes for Secrets of Saltmarsh and our other campaigns right there at that little convenient link. You can also interact with this game. There are a few ways you can do so. You can redeem a blessing or advantage die or reroll die to the player of your choice, including myself, for free using the chat points. Or if you want to add an element of fate to the narrative, every $10 guarantees a draw from the deck of many things to the player of your choice. We will jump right into it. Please tell me who you are and who you're playing. We'll start with Emma.
Hi, it's me, Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Emma Panada. On Twitch, we run various TTRPG games, and on Twitter, I troll my friends. I'm also writing a TTRPG called All the Witches, and we currently have a dice giveaway going. It ends Friday, so if you want to swoop in and enter right before the end, then go click on this link and like and follow, and retweet, all the hoodad. But yeah, that's me. I play Arlen Ruvalath, a cleric slash warlock who, well, I guess it's now warlock slash cleric, who is lying about everything.
We'll see the ramifications, perhaps even a conflict rising up. Maybe, actions do have consequences, and maybe we'll find out today. Who knows? It's possible.
Stella, I think we found at this point that no actions have consequences for Arlen.
True. Next, we have GeekDice.
Hey, I'm GeekDice. You can only find me here, unfortunately, or maybe that's fortunate. I am playing Sir Kissimmee Brightbloom, also known as KayBee. He is the Flower Knight of the Order of the Sea Lily. He is an old boy. He is a small boy. He is previously, he is a Fenadiri, which if you don't know what a Fenadiri is, it's a brownie. It's a house spirit. They hide under your stairs. They sweep the stoop when you're sleeping, and they steal breadcrumbs from your cabinet. But now, as an old man, he is an adventurer. He's grown to trust his companions, to have faith. He's grown to believe everything that Arlen says as true. And if he has his way, it can only be true. So let's see where that takes us.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much. Next, we have GodfatherWraith.
Hi, I'm GodfatherWraith. You can call me GFW or Tim or pretty much anything you'd like except late for dinner. So I'm playing Garen. He's the, well, as Stella found out very well last time, he's very good at making things dead. And honestly, he couldn't care less if Arlen's telling the truth or not. He's known so many leaders that are full of shit that he just expects it adding to more.
I love that everyone just lets Arlen get away with literally everything. It's great.
We have had no reason to question it.
It's true. Thank you so much. Next, we have Endicarus.
Hi, my name is John, but I go by Endicarus on the internet. You can find me here every other Wednesday, and you can find me on just about every kind of social media if you just look up the name Endicarus. In particular, I love it if you would check out my itch.io channel and download and play some of my games and stories and stuff. I'm playing Pole of Ammonfort, who is a warlock with the patron of Heward, the Greyhawk hero god. He is, like his god, a pacifist and is often having trouble reconciling that with the rest of the group's bloody deeds. But so far, so good. The last session, we had some pretty decent success at not killing everybody.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have Zombie.
Hello, I am Jacob. I'm Zombie. I am Z. I'm whatever the three names that they call me. I'm the lore keeper and the captain C of the good ship Clip. I might able to do too many clips, but that's up to your own discretion. Today, I am playing as Finn Carson, ranger researcher who's trying to find this great evil that has plagued his life throughout the years. And it seems like the more he goes around and the more adventures he goes on, especially this giant one that he's on now, the more it seems like it's affecting everybody. And he wants to try and help out the best he can. I'll go through all of my different stuff at the end, but you can find me on Twitter, most likely, most of the time on Twitter at ZombieFighter89, and until it's Discord, where I hang out and chat with anyone who wants to talk with me. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Did you tell us about Finn?
I thought I did.
Sorry.
I thought I had talked about Finn. I was trying to think of anything I needed to add with Finn, and I just couldn't think of anything.
You're fine. I'll be honest, as y'all were doing intros, I was mentally trying to decide something. And I was like, should I tell people this, or is it like TMI? And I was like, I'll just tell them. And that was all I was thinking as we were doing intros. And it is that I tried body paint for the first time today. So this morning I was a gray-blue person, just completely covered in body paint. And one of the things that I read was to not freak out if you have strange colored boogers because of using body paint. So I've just been thinking about my boogers all day, and I might subconsciously pick my nose, and I apologize in advance.
Interesting.
Yep. That's where my brain is at right now.
I had honestly not heard of that, but okay, that's a perfectly good explanation.
All right, cool. That way we're all on the same table.
This is the content we all want.
Honestly,
Now we need a
Stella,
boogers command.
This is totally on brand for you too.
Thanks.
Yep.
You know I was being honest, because that is exactly what I was thinking. All right, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. We see a montage of all of our players, all of our characters. They are leaving the Lizard Folk fort and making their way through the wilderness. And in tow, we have two Lizard Folk warriors. They have introduced themselves as Garvert and Vith. I'll type out those names for you there. And they have mostly kept to themselves. They have mentioned to you in common, they speak common as well, that they applaud your efforts with their colony and that it has meant a great deal that you have come all this way to help their people. And we see our heroes in camp as of this moment. You are in the wilderness, somewhere between your ship and their lair. Can I get a survival check from your scout, which I will assume to be Garen, unless someone wants to step up?
Yeah, I don't think anyone else wants to.
Okay, very good. 24.
Before.
Very good. You've been able to pick your way through the various bogs and swamps. You make your way through these mud flats that threaten to suck people in and make them lose their footing. And you have masterfully made camp in a dry spot here that is well defensible. As the group of you are settling down for the night, what is everyone doing as camp is being made? You see that the two Lizard Folk warriors are assisting in gathering what supplies they can to start a fire.
Paul will help with that, doing some gathering of wood and just trying to clear a space where we can make a nice camp without a bunch of detritus around, checking out for any animals in the area that would be disturbed and telling them, hey, we're just going to be here for a little while. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Can I get you can do perception or investigation. You'll get different information for either of them. So as Paul is doing that, what is everyone else doing?
Hey, what does everybody want to eat?
No. I'm for anything, honestly.
I picked up some things from our new friends. I just got all kinds of different things. I don't know what goes good. Maybe we'll just try something random.
Would you
I'm
like
okay.
some advice?
Oh, yeah. What do you want to eat?
Please display to me what you have taken or been given. My apologies.
I got these brown roots. They're dry. I don't know. I probably want to use those in the soup. I got this fruit. I don't know which way is up on that. There's this fish. I smell it. I think it's still okay.
You see that Vith comes up to you. Vith has these very brilliant sapphire-like scales that go up and down the sides of his face. He has these golden eyes, and he is a little more compact in frame than Garut. You can tell that they're both very battle-worn, battle-tested by the number of scars there are on their bodies. Vith, in particular, comes right up to you, doesn't seem to have a sense of personal space, more or less just reaches into your hand, corrects the fruit because it was upside down in your grasp, and begins to tell you...
How tall is he?
He is going to be like 6'2".
Okay, so I reach up and I hang my hand on his belt. He's in my personal space. I'm almost going to hug him, but I can't because he's so tall. So I said, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, he doesn't even
good
seem
with
to
that.
register it or get bothered by it whatsoever. And he begins to tell you of lizard folk cuisine, and it seems to have a large favor towards utilizing ginger and capitalizing on the flavor of ginger.
Yeah, so I imagine he goes through the spices. I try to keep a collection, and maybe some things I run out of, so I'm always paying attention to that because I've got a whole different assortment of palettes that I need to try to attend to. But I also show him the blue pepper spice and tell him to be very careful.
You see he fearlessly takes it and gives it a sniff, and it gets up into his nose, and his eyes start to water, and he's coughing and sneezing quite
Can you say
violently.
Careful.
Don't get that in your eyes, man. No, it's just not good.
I will not make the same mistake twice. Garut, be careful of this. Gesturing to the blue pepper spice.
So I think that's what we're doing. Me and
Vith.
I knew Vith.
Yes, excellent. What about Finn, Garen, Arlen?
I think Finn is probably just... I guess he's just going to kind of go around, see what he can be helpful with. As it seems like he's just kind of relieved and happy that it seems like everyone can now talk to everybody again. So now he doesn't have to go around and be everyone's translator, which I, as a person, am really thought about how translators are and appreciate them more so after this game than before. Yeah, he's just gonna try and be as helpful as possible because he has no idea what to kind of help with.
Okay, very good. You see that both of the lizard folk definitely don't take command or order anyone to do anything. They kind of just begin to do things that are kind of the basics of setting up camp, but they necessarily don't ask for your help. They just kind of assume that you're going to do what you're doing. You do see that Garut does look at you quite quizzically as you're looking around to be more helpful. And he comes up to you. At his full height, he is about 6'8". He is a lot stockier, a lot more muscular than Vith. And you can see that down the sides of his face are these black scales, and he has these orange stripes that go down the back of his neck as well. And he looks to you and he says, "You look like you'd be good in a fight. Do you want to wrestle?"
Sure, we could wrestle if you want. I think I'd do all right.
As soon as
Arlen
you
perks up and is immediately watching.
Yeah, as soon as you agree, he just like grabs you by the belt and he begins to try to wrestle you. Can I get an athletics check from you?
Athletics, where are you? Ooh, okay. Oh man. Had a +6 to that.
Oh
too.
my god.
That's...
He rolled.
Whoa.
Okay. So tell me how you take down this 6'8" lizard folk warrior.
So Finn isn't really he's one of those silent types, who just doesn't really talk about how strong he can be or whatever, but like kind of learning things. He's been sort of, trying to like learn self-protection. So he sort of goes and starts wrestling around as he's starting to notice that maybe it's going on and maybe he could lose a grip or maybe he could be taken down. He quickly does some kind of like grabs him by the waist and sort of just wrestles him down and just kind of like puts his arm behind his back and just kind of has him down with his head kind of down into the ground like this. And he's like, "You want to try again?"
He taps your arm to signal you to release him, and he says, "Yes."
Yep.
So, Arlen, you see them resetting. Finn has won this first round of wrestling. You are watching. Is there anything else that you wanted to do?
I take a bite of some bread.
Okay. Excellent. All right, roll me another athletics check.
Oh, please be kinder.
Hey, that's very good. Wow. Okay. Yeah. He must have sprained something or something. He just rolled a 2. Tell me how you defeat him in this second round.
In conjunction with that, Finn will have tripped his leg. So if we can put that in part of, he might have accidentally hurt his leg as well. But he'll kind of trip his leg, sort of grab his leg, take him down, and sort of just like land right on top of him again, and sort of like the amateur wrestling stance where like the person's like up on top of them, and just kind of holding down the whole body, and then sort of turns around to where it'd be facing his head and be like, "Round 2 wasn't as good for you either, was it?"
No, it was not. I commend you. It is good to know that we have friends like you by our side in the war to come.
Yes.
He pats your arm again, and he tries to get up.
Oh, I release him for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I haven't been challenged to wrestle in a very long time. It's good to know that I can still have reflexes that are decent for that.
You see that he's covered in mud now, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. He begins to make his way over to KayBee and Vith, who are probably cooking together. Garen, what did you want to do?
I'd say after watching the first wrestling match, Garen would do his normal and go foraging, see if there's any supplies he can find.
Okay, sounds good. Can I get a survival check from you? 18, very good. As we see Garen leaving camp, you begin to look through the wilderness for some natural resources that you can make of use in camp. You find a number of vines. You know these to be called gray vines, and they are particularly interesting type of fibrous plant. You know that they make very good makeshift rope, and you can add 20 feet of gray vine to your inventory.
Okay.
You know that they are particularly tough, and in some ways they might even be more tough than hemp rope.
Awesome. Axe is trying to help.
Advantage, just kidding. Okay, so Pole, with that 13 investigation, you notice something very unusual. Perhaps you're making a little too much of it, or you might be a little paranoid, but you notice that there is a larger population of toads and snakes and rodents and birds. You notice that with the area that you're in right here, it doesn't really make much sense to see them so plentifully. There aren't any sources of bountiful food or no rotting corpses or anything to feed these creatures. These pests, they seem to be slithering near the area in concentrated groups.
Well, I'll break out the beast speech and start talking to them.
Okay.
What brings you to this area? So many of you.
I think what also adds to how strange they are is how they respond when you try to speak to them. You know that most of the time, creatures will try to speak to you, even simply, to say they're hungry or if they're threatened. But when you try to speak to them, they don't seem to hear you. And you get the sense that they might... Well, roll me an Arcana check. Let me not just give you stuff for free.
Come on.
No, you can give us stuff for free.
Let me
It's
not give
okay.
you stuff for free. 8. Okay, you don't know what's up with them, but they're weird.
All right. Well, I wouldn't want anything to pass by unnoticed and get me in trouble, so I'm gonna go tell Arlen. Arlen, there's all the animals. There's a lot of animals here, acting
Right.
strange, and they won't talk. It's like they can't hear me. I don't know what's up with that, but it's not natural. Maybe something is, I don't know, maybe something's controlling them or putting them here, charming them. I don't know, but something's strange. The snakes, the rats, the frogs, everything.
Can you show me?
Sure. Right over here. Look at all these frogs.
And I'll stop watching Finn wrestle, and I'll go and look at the frogs with Pole.
Okay. Yeah, it's much the same. There's nothing unusual about them other than the amount of them. And they don't linger. They're constantly moving. And it isn't like you're surrounded by them like in a circle or anything like that. There are some here, some there. It's just littered with pests.
Do I have any potential idea what is causing there to be so many and Pole not to be able to talk to them?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. This will be a pretty high DC because you don't have a lot of context here. Okay, 17. You do know that there are quite a few powerful creatures that have the ability to charm other creatures, especially beasts that might be found in herds or in large groups. So it would make sense that they are kind of gathered together, but you don't know what could be responsible for this.
All right, well, there are a variety of creatures and other things that can charm other beasts and the sort. So we might just want to stay on guard tonight.
Okay.
Hopefully everybody doesn't mind. The soup is now frog soup.
Ooh.
I'm all right with that.
Okay.
I'll
Frog
just
legs
have
are
some.
actually quite tasty.
It kind of jumped in there.
I'll just have some of these. This fruit thing.
That looks good too.
Let's see. TI-20. Okay, Vith says, it might have something to do with the blood moon tonight.
Do I know what the blood
Sorry,
moon is?
tomorrow night. Go ahead. Anybody can roll me a nature check here.
Garen back from foraging for this part.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
How about a
29.
29.
29, just casually 29. Okay,
Right.
KayBee. 21 from Arlen, 9 from Pole, 13 from Finn,
Where is nature? There it is.
and a 16 from Garen. Okay, Pole, you have probably seen a blood moon, but other than that, perhaps you're not sure like the frequency or whatnot. For everyone else, you would know that the blood moon is essentially just it's a celestial event that happens every now and then. I'll say KayBee. You
And-
know,
And also, I know what happens during blood moon, right?
you know that because of the way that celestial bodies work, magic is especially potent on a night of a blood moon. You know that it is absolutely the font of power for many rituals, and that it does not happen very often, so it is a very rare event to capitalize on if you can.
I share that, and I say,
It's especially good after Naked Day.
So it's not tonight, because it is nighttime in camp. You know it's going to be tomorrow from Vith telling you this.
okay, cool.
I thought it had something to do with naked butts.
Yeah, makes sense enough to me.
So, you have gathered all together in camp, and it is time to rest, unless anyone wants to do something special. Okay. We're going to go ahead and montage through this. There is a high level of alert as given by Arlen and Pol to the group. Y'all take turns in shifts. Some of you sleep soundly, some of you perhaps don't sleep just as well. But more or less, you wake up the next day and there has been nothing interesting that happens. And the rest of you continue to make your way back to the Sea Lily. As you find your rowboat, you all climb in. You begin to make your way to your ship, which is still out in the ocean. Yes.
Is it still naked day when we get to the boat?
It shouldn't be.
No. As the rope ladder comes down on the side of your ship and you are guided up, both Garrett and Vith in tow, you find your entire crew is clothed.
Missed it again.
Well, the point is that we'll always miss it unless you like stay behind while I'm off the ship, but that would be a bit strange.
Yeah.
Well, hello everyone, thank you so much for waiting. We'll be going back to Saltmarsh now.
Right! You heard the captain! Set sail for Saltmarsh! Ding ding! And you hear everyone just clambering about and ropes and
And welcome to
sails.
our new friends.
You see Imloth come sidling up, and Imloth bows their head to the lizard folk and says, "Captain, shall I set up a room for them?"
Yeah, if we have the space, I think that would be a nice thing to do.
"We have the space. Please
Thanks,
follow me."
Imloth.
"Of course, Captain." And she begins to lead the two lizard folk away. And the group of you are now on deck. What would you like to do as everyone is beginning to prepare to depart?
Drop off new foods with our halfling chef and start tearing apart pokes and pieces.
Okay.
Can I just go to my room, see what's up with Tully? We made a mess of the place. And I move all his stuff over to his side of the room.
Okay. So we'll give it to you last. What does everyone
There's
else want to
shit
do?
smeared on the walls.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's not that bad, okay.
No.
Hold on. Has
Arlen's
Tully been
gonna-
drinking?
Arlen's gonna check in with
No.
Imloth, and see how things are and how she's feeling. Just once she's done getting things set up.
Okay. Imloth tells you, nothing really of note to report. Naked Day was a success. We had an 80% participation rate. The morale is quite high.
That's
And
good.
there was only one incident, but you are above it. We don't need to mention it.
Well, I'm curious.
Someone accidentally put sugar into the stew instead of soup.
Oh.
Sorry, instead of salt.
Well, that's quite humorous. Well,
Yes.
I'm glad that wasn't anything too bad. And how are you feeling about things?
Quite excellent. I do think that this is a good role for me. I have had my experience with herding cats, one might say.
Hmm. Being in the guard, I imagined that would be the case.
Yes, Captain.
You don't really have to call me Captain all the time. You can just call me Arlen.
Arlen, then. End of
Right.
your trip?
Things went well. We saved their guardian deity from corruption, and then, they were profoundly grateful. Now we're going to go back to Saltmarsh, see if we can do some things to help them, and, yeah, mission successful.
Excellent. That's good to hear. I'm sure that we will find Saltmarsh quite different than when we left. Especially with the fish beginning to roll back in, and the weather's been fine.
I imagine it'll be a lot like how it was before, but things might be a little bit hectic. We'll see when we get there.
Very good.
I saw that you didn't participate in the Naked Day. Was everything okay?
You see Imloth just immediately blush, and she clears her throat. I was, of the belief that perhaps I should maintain a professional role in order to exhibit superior leadership.
That makes sense. If you ever feel like you're missing out on the fun and you want a more private Naked Day, you just let me know.
Hold on. I gotta roll. Okay. If there were perhaps any kind of subtext there, she seems to be lost on it, and she just says, Captain, I think it would be wise for me to maintain my authority over the crew.
Oh, I wasn't talking about with the rest of the crew.
Hold on, roll again. A light bulb appears above her head, and she says, Oh. I shall think on it, Captain.
All right.
Arlen,
just let me
Captain.
know.
And she's like blushing. She's like, I should go see to the crew now.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes. She leaves. Very quickly. Is there anything else that anybody else wants to do?
Finn probably would go back to his room and check on Bims.
Okay. You see that there are a number of tiny claw marks in every surface of everything in your room. Your pillow is slightly shredded. There are chew marks on your spare boots. And when you open the door, Bims is curled in a shape of a donut right in the middle of your bed. Seems to have gathered and pulled all your sheets together to make a nest, and is sleeping soundly right there on his very good throne.
I don't want to disturb the little guy. He'll look and see the disaster of his room and just be like, all right, I guess I'll deal with this later.
Excellent. What about Paul?
So yeah, he'll just go into his room. Is Tully there?
Oh, yes, right. Paul, we'll come back to you.
Okay.
Garen.
Yeah. So Garen is going to just kind of basically inspect the ship, see if there's any damage or any other potential issues.
Okay. You see Simona, the boatswain. She is currently repairing something on the middle deck. You see that it appears some of the storage for the majority of the crates and the barrels in the middle deck have gotten loose, and she appears to be reinforcing the restraints for them.
You need any assistance?
She looks up at you and she wipes her forehead. How good are you with working with steel?
Not much practice, but I am accurate. I can
Well,
give it a try.
accuracy will be of some benefit here. Take this hammer, and essentially she'll have you doing some work where you have to take some chains and hammer some pitons into wood to help reinforce the restraining elements here. Roll me an athletics check. This is going to be quite laborious work. 22. Okay. By the end of it, Simona seems very impressed with you, and as you are like exhibiting very very great fortitude in doing this, she immediately like upgrades the level of work that you're doing because she sees that you can handle it. So she doesn't like take it easy on you. She says, all right, you can handle it. Here's some more things that need to be done.
Okay.
It isn't, it's not like she's dumping the responsibility on you. It's just that there is a long list of things to do, and seeing
Right.
that you can handle it, she gives it to you, and she is working alongside you.
Right. She's like, okay, I'm not in this alone. Good.
Yeah, exactly. What about KayBee?
Yeah. I don't know. I think he was working on taking apart his steel defender. He was a little bit disappointed with Poke after the last battle. Poke was entirely ineffective, and then he suddenly he remembers something, and he stands there in the doorway to his private chamber, holding one leg of Poke, and he's scratching his head.
He's like, yeah, I gotta find Garen. Garen said there was a problem with the boat.
And I go searching out Garen. Garen had pointed out a problem before about the boat.
Okay.
Something about the mast.
Yes. You find Garen quite easily. They are in the middle deck, hammering away and doing a number of laborious tasks that include a lot of lifting.
I'm
And
glad you're strong.
Yeah, he's probably bare shirted by now.
It's
Just
not
working.
naked day.
Muscles!
Yet.
Activate!
You said something about the mast. You said it had a problem down in the bottom?
Yes.
Oh, that was reported to me. I took care of it immediately.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good.
I'm kind of looking around at the ship and looking curious probably to anybody. It's just like I'm looking for something. I'm looking for evidence. I'm trying to see. There was a magic moment. I'm trying to see if anything happened to the boat after I made that wish.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
So I'm checking out the boat.
I don't know if you fixed everything. Everything looks in pretty good shape, I guess.
Looking for any kind of problems. Looking to see if
Okay.
there's anything that wouldn't have been repaired by her. Something else.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me perception. And as you do that, Hull, you enter into your room and you find that there are quite a few new decorations. You see that the decorations that have been hammered into the walls have tripled in number, and they are ranging from spoons to shoes to there's a whole leather tunic there now. You see that there's a book that's just hanging open, one side nailed into the wall, and you can see that your bed has been flipped upside down, and that Tully's things have absolutely shifted over onto your side. In fact, the side of Tully's half of the room is more or less empty because he's snuggled up into your space. And as you enter in, you see Tully is sitting on your bed and reading a book. He looks up at you and he says, I don't remember his voice. Hey, Paul, what's up?
Paul will just stand there for a little while with his mouth open. Tully, that's my side of the room. Why's all your stuff on my side of the room? And we flipped over my bed.
It was more comfortable this way. And I've just been keeping an eye on things. I'm quite small. It's hard for me to reach.
I'll move it back. Move it back. That's your
alright.
stuff. I don't care about on the walls, but what's that on my bed?
Oh.
That doesn't go on a bed.
You see he has taken a steak and it just has the steak on your bed.
That's dirty.
Oh,
I'm gonna get ants.
He just picks up the steak. He takes a big bite out of it and then he puts the rest into his pocket. And then he hops up and he begins to try to push his chest of stuff to the other side, and he's just like more or less just stuck in place because he's not strong enough to push it.
I can't believe it. Tully, I'm gonna come back at the next bell, and this all better be gone.
Oh, I'm
Or we're
sorry.
gonna have words, you know.
Oh, all right. And you see him like double down, rubs his hands, and tries to do it even harder. Definitely not making any progress. He says, "Fuck," and just begins to like grab things and throw them onto the other side of the room.
So yeah, Paul's gonna slam the door, and I'll be back.
Okay. You hear mumbling on the other side of the door as you slam the door. Anything else you'd like to do?
Maybe go to the mess and get some food.
Okay, excellent. With that 12 perception, KayBee, as you're looking around, you don't really see anything different. You see that the boat still bears a number of its old scars. You see that there was definitely a cannonball that came through this part of the wall at some point. It's been patched over, and it doesn't have any risk of leaking, but the wounds that the sea lily came into your possession with still remain.
Okay.
Did you want to cast a spell or anything?
No. Just, I'm patient.
Okay.
340 years patient.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. Okay. By the time that Garen finishes work, the ship is already beginning to creak and shift into motion. As the sails fill and take wind, the boat begins to make its way towards Saltmarsh. We'll say that the better part of a day passes by, and there seems to be a commotion up on deck. You hear... Oh, where's that list of people? You hear Book, the pale person with braided black hair that's shorn on one side, this very intense person, call down from where they are at in the crow's nest and say, "There's something up ahead."
Garen would scale the up to the crow's nest.
Okay.
and see what's going on.
You see, as the group had seen before, that there's a large hole in the water. It looks as if this surface has no bottom to it. So the sea all around you is like a very pleasant kind of sea foam green color, but this particular hole it is this deep, deep black blue. You can tell it goes down, 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 very, very far. And it almost seems to suck the light out of the air around it. This particular one is going to be... Oh, wow. Okay. It seems to be about 1,000 feet wide.
What do you make of it, Book?
I've heard of these before. They're called blue holes. They are filled with secrets. And it is typically the case that monsters and treasure can be found within.
All right. I'll bring this message to the captain.
All right.
Good eye.
And you see Book grabs your arm before you go, and he says, I would advise that we don't investigate this one. It is quite large. Perhaps too large for us.
I'll make certain to pass that warning on. Thank you.
Good luck.
Garen would go down, tell Arlen what Book had said.
We'll say that it's probably about evening time now, so most of everyone is gathered in the mess. So Arlen is with the others. Imloth is there. We're all eating whatever KayBee made. And Garen says this to you.
What do you tell me?
There's a wide area ahead. It's like dark blue water. Book called it the blue water. Says there's usually treasure and monsters to be found in them.
Oh, you mean a blue hole? Those
Yes.
are bad. Those are bad.
Yes, he said it's ill-advised that we investigate this one. It seems quite large and dangerous.
Nothing's too large for Arlen. Now, you say there's treasure and there are monsters. I mean, monsters this close to Saltmarsh can't be good, can it?
Captain has a good point.
I mean, we
Yes,
should
but-
investigate.
No.
At the same time, how dangerous would it be to the crew?
Also, we don't know if this monster can only survive in water. If it can only survive in water, then nothing to fear.
Stops. It can destroy all the fishing boats.
Presumably, the fishers are know well enough to stay away.
Maybe the captain can go check it out.
I don't know,
it's-
KayBee. If I wouldn't, who else would go with?
I'll
Arlen?
go.
If it's
Always.
as dangerous as
This is
Book cautions,
It's my duty.
yes, as
But
dangerous
it's-
as Book seems to think it is, I think it's unwise for only one or two. We should go together, or we should leave it be.
I think I vote for leave it be. Do we have enough things to prepare to be underwater?
There is that concern as well, Finn.
Arlen can breathe underwater. I don't know about the rest of you. I can't.
I cannot.
Me neither.
KayBee?
No.
Okay. So, only one of us can, and more than one person should go down. I'm voting no. I'm sorry.
Can you chart where this is? Maybe we could get some like water breathing potions or something in Saltmarsh and come back.
With the proper tools, sure, I'd be willing to investigate it.
Yeah, do these things move around or does it stay where it is?
It looked pretty permanent, Garen.
I don't think it's going to move.
Okay, so
All right, great. We'll go to Saltmarsh. We'll get some potions, other things, prepare, and we'll come back.
sure, yeah.
Cool. We're gonna. Oh no! Hold on. Don't look at
Oh
that.
wait, is it just?
Wow.
Don't look at that.
wow.
No,
wow.
don't
what
look
was
at that. Don't look
Wait,
at
hold
that.
on, hold on.
I saw an island. What?
Don't look at that.
Based on the description, I thought this was just like a dark spot in like the ocean.
Yeah, that's it. That was the wrong map. I said don't look at it. Why did you look at it? You disobeyed me.
Okay, so it is just like a large dark spot in the ocean.
Yes, I'm about to put it on your map. There you go. Wait, that's an oval. There you go.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll come back.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Agreed.
Okay. So you see this 1,000-foot blue hole here
Mm-hmm.
on your map to live there forever until you investigate it, in which it disappears from your map. Okay. So the team decides to not investigate and continue on.
Yes.
Okay. As the group of you are beginning to make your way closer to Saltmarsh, you are perhaps only an hour away. You see that the night sky has darkened enough that you can now see the blood moon. As you look up into the sky, it is fading into this deep purple-orange color. The moon is quite present. It is a scarlet disk up in the heavens, and it almost seems to be the color of blood to give its namesake. And as the group of you behold it, perhaps in passing, perhaps closely, it gives you this sort of unnerving feeling. Can I get a Constitution saving throw from anyone that looks at it for more than 5 minutes?
Oh shit.
Okay, that's a 5 from Garen. That is an 11 from Arlen, an 8 from Finn, 27 from KayBee.
That should actually be only a 23
Okay, 23.
reason.
Okay. And 19 from Pole. Okay, so Finn and Garen, as you're looking up at the blood moon, you feel this sort of tremor shaking through you. There is this sort of fear that settles in the pit of your stomach. It isn't enough to make you want to run or hide or anything like that, but it is this sort of quiet instinct that it is a bad omen, that it is something powerful, something that you should be careful with. For everyone else, as you look at the blood moon, you don't feel anything other than, cool, that's red. That's really, really red.
So unsettling. I don't know. Something makes me feel glad we didn't investigate that blue hole.
What if in the blood moon, when it shines down on the blue hole, it becomes something, I don't know, purple, something?
Great color theory, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps, but I mean, like, we'll go back and we'll investigate. It's fine.
I've never been a superstitious type, but I just feel like it would have been really bad if we'd have been down there during a blood moon.
You see both Garrett and Vith. They come up to the side of the ship, and they have joined you, and they were watching the moon with you. And the two of them draw daggers, and they begin to cut their hand. They squeeze blood out into the water and do a little tiny bit of bloodletting here. For good luck, Vith says. There is a legend that says on the day of a blood moon, if you give your lifeblood to the ocean, you will be visited in your dreams. And there is a chance that you can make a wish and it will come true.
Like that.
I cut my hand.
I think everybody's cutting their hands.
Yeah.
Some of the
Garen-
crew like sees you doing this, and they begin to like Tully like oh fuck yeah, and then just like,
Yeah, Tully would.
Yeah, Garen would hesitate for a moment, shrug, and would follow suit.
Okay, can I get a wisdom save from Garen as you try to do this?
Oh no. 13.
Okay, Finn, did you also try?
Finn sort of hesitates. He's been holding onto his locket ever since he saw this blood moon. And he sort of hesitates and goes, "Well, magic has been a thing I should try to believe in," and he tries for it as well.
Okay, I need a wisdom save from you. Everyone else that made the Constitution save, you're fine. Nothing happens.
Wisdom for the saving
Yeah.
throw.
Wisdom.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay, so that's a 13 from Garen and a 21 from Finn. Okay. Finn, nothing happens. You cut your hand. It hurts. You bleed a little into the ocean. With you, Garen, as you do this, you just have that feeling come back again that this is a bad idea. I shouldn't do this, but you do manage to do it. And all of you just kind of watch as your tiny, insignificant drops of blood mix with the ocean and dilute immediately. You don't see any trace of it, especially in the wake that the ship makes. It just disappears into the sea foam. And Vith says out loud, "I wish that I will be made champion one day." Garrett says, "I wish to sire 50 hatchlings."
That's a lot.
Let me tell you, that's not for everybody.
Vith says to the group, "In order for the magic to work, you have to say what you wish for out loud."
I wish these other 4 could breathe underwater.
I wish Tully would stay on his side of the room. I'll stare at give Tully the stink eye.
Tully is just like looking up at you. He looks sad. And then he says, "I wish that all my shit would move to my side of the room."
Oh boy.
Just kidding, mate. I'm sorry about bowling you out earlier. I'll help you move it.
It's okay. It's okay.
it's all right.
I'm sorry, mate.
But next time, just don't do that, all right?
All right. You've drawn a boundary. I can respect that. My apologies. You see both Garrett and Vith look expectantly to KayBee, Garen, and Finn.
I wish I could undo every promise I ever made.
And I look a little bit reluctant to say that, but once I said it, it's like,
Yeah, there.
What promises are you regretting?
I've never broken a promise. But sometimes you have to.
All right.
Tully's like, "I break promises all the time."
I'm going to hang around with you now.
Yeah. Tully
Done.
just
Oh, sorry.
puts his arm around KayBee.
Yeah.
He's
Let's go
stinky.
drink.
Okay. Garen.
I wish I could pass unseen when I want to.
You can't do that already?
Sometimes I can. Not always. And then Garen would clean the blood from his dagger and put it away.
Okay. And everyone looks to Finn.
Finn has sort of just been this whole time. He smirked really hard at the comment that Pull made, but for the most part, he has just been kind of looking down, holding the necklace into the ocean, thinking really hard, really once what he's really wishing for, and he goes, I want to. I wish that I could, with everyone's help, stop this great evil. And I kind of wish as well that there's a way I could bring her back. And he says this out loud. Obviously, no one probably knows who her is, but he's just say her out loud.
Okay. And there's this sort of sullen atmosphere that takes the crew after that. And then Tully goes, "All right, let's go drink." He drags KayBee towards the mess, and everyone just kind of resumes their duties on the deck. And the group of you pull in to Saltmarsh. Wrong window.
I'd like a scene with Finn, if you don't mind.
Okay, yes, I don't mind.
Okay. Finn, did you have your own room or did you share a room with somebody?
The only person I've shared a room with is Vince.
The fairy dragon.
Mhm.
Okay. I am going to enter your room without knocking at some point.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's go for this. We'll say that this is some time has passed since we did that wish, and he kind of came in the room. I don't know if Bims is still laying on the bed or not, but he's gonna try and like maybe scooch Bims over a little bit to give himself some room, or slid on the other side if there's room on the other side. And he'll just be laying there trying to mangle his ripped pillow up a little bit, and he'll just open the locket and look at it before you right as you barge in.
Perfect. Yeah, I walk in. So, Finn, I was thinking we could go over your... Oh, wait. Is that new?
The necklace that I always wear?
You don't... Oh, I swear I've never seen you with that before.
Well, I wear it every time and every chance I get. But yeah,
Like, for how long, though?
since when we all met, since that corral. Yeah, when we all met and we were being brought to Saltmarsh together, when we all read the sign and went to the thing. Yeah, I've been wearing it since day one. Or zero.
Well, I guess I never noticed. What?
Well,
what is it?
it's not always out on display, but yeah.
What is that? Lockets
Well-
generally like have something in them. Is it a cloak?
It's not a no. It's a picture actually, and no one I've not really showed. You'd be the first person I showed this to, honestly, except for Bims over here. And then he'll kind of show off and reveal what's inside the pendant or the locket, which is a picture of his fall in love Abigail Coldwater.
Oh,
Yeah.
who is this? She's cute.
Her name is Abigail. She was the one that I went on a little bit of an adventure before I met all of you. She and I met when, long story short, my entire family kind of was taken over by all the undead. Then, soon after, I went kind of around searching for maybe to find somehow to defeat this undead. And in that course of going around and searching, I met her who was also looking at the same thing. So when we got together and sort of became a couple, and something happened, and all I have left of her is, well, I have this picture of her and something in this little compartment, but until the right time approaches, I don't want to open that. But yeah.
Oh,
You see this.
what a cutie.
Beautiful art. I love it so much.
Art
My
by
background, you're like-
Bikaki.
Yes, it is my computer background. I see it every day.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah. Ever since then, I've been wanting to avenge her and everyone else, and I don't know. I every time that I've come and I mean, I'm sure you've noticed you've been poking and prodding at me to be more um authoritative and all that, but it's somewhat hard for me because the last time I felt really in control of everything is when I was with her until our accident, and ever since then, anytime I feel like I'm getting close to something, I just feel like I'm gonna screw it up.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that that happened to you, but you don't have to worry about being in a leadership position or anything, or in a decision-making position, because I'm here, and I'll make sure that you don't fuck things up too bad.
Oh,
But
I appreciate that.
you're very welcome. What happened to her?
Well, we'd fought against some giant evil that we had presumed it was one of the sort of kind of like what we've been facing, except without the crystals in them. It's just a sort of like undead sort of giant being, and we usually coordinated really well, and usually things went off. But this time she sort of we coordinated, and it was very miscalculated. We were not ready to fight something like this big of a beast, and she got caught in the crossfire. I called for something, and she was like, "All right, let's go." And I let her die. I am the reason she's gone, and I just wish to this day that whatever. I wish I hadn't done that. I wish maybe we could have went somewhere else, did something else. It's just it's bugged me ever since that day.
Arlen, roll me a perception check. Okay, 7. Don't worry about it.
So yeah, I feel like ever since that time, I feel like I'm just one wrong move again from hurting other people.
You lose a lot of people in the adventuring life, but you also save a lot, and you change a lot of other people's lives.
Yeah.
And it's hard to compare the two. I mean, losing somebody you traveled with and you cared for is a lot different than helping somebody you've seen once. But
True.
to all the people you have helped, your presence has made a big difference. And that tends to help with the weight of grief sometimes, is
Yeah. I mean
thinking
that's
about that.
I mean that's why I got up one day and I answered the sort of the message that's been going around why I joined all of you, is because I know in my heart that she wouldn't want this setback to do anything. She'd want me to face this thing, and all I can hope for in the end of the day is I can avenge her. And he'll kind of point to where her bow is. As you can see that she was a bit of magic, thinking maybe there's a way I can bring her back with magic. The more and more I've been learning about magic, because I have a little bit of magic I can do here and there, like speak to animals and such a little bit. Anything's possible. So
What would you do to have her back?
I'd do anything.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing this with me. This was a bit of a heavier conversation than I was expecting. We don't have to go over the notes right now. We can do that another time.
That's fine.
But
that's why I don't bring it up. I don't want to. It kind of kills the mood a bit, but it's
important to talk about the people who you've cared about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you get some rest.
Yeah. Thank you. You as well.
And I'm gonna leave and go back to my room.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna pull out my club.
Okay. When you pull out your club, you realize that it's already been humming with power. You might have missed it because you were kind of in the moment with Finn, but you get the sense that it was listening.
So, what do you know about life and death?
You hear just the driest chuckle. Lifetimes of experience.
And what do you know about bringing the dead back?
More than anyone you will find in Saltmarsh.
Well, seems that we have a lot to talk about then.
It is a blood moon tonight.
It is.
Have your crew sleep on the ship tonight. Perhaps it's time we meet.
Just to clarify, is it asking me to leave the ship?
It's asking you to stay on the ship and everyone sleep on the ship tonight.
So,
When we dock, in other words, don't disembark.
You can disembark, just don't go
But-
sleeping in the wicker line or the wicker goat
okay,
snapping
so
or snapping line. Yeah.
we're docking at Saltmarsh, but I need to have everybody come back and sleep on the ship.
Yeah.
And I also need to sleep on the ship.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. All right. That can be done.
We can talk more about life and death face to face.
That sounds lovely. I'll just go let everyone know. And I'm gonna tell Imloth to spread the word that everybody needs to, like, you can go about, do your thing on the net in the town, but you need to come back and sleep on the ship tonight.
Yeah, we just have like a real quick cutscene of Imloth standing at the head of the mess table and telling everyone this, and there's a collective like, "Aww!" Everyone just collectively does it all at once.
Ah,
Imloth reports back and says, "Captain, your orders shall be obeyed."
Thanks, Imloth. Again, you don't have to call me captain.
She blushes and runs out the room. All right. So we see the ship make its way into Saltmarsh. And as it does, we hear the sounds of the dock. People moving from ship to shore. Goods being transported back and forth. You can smell the variety of foods coming off of the shore facing bakeries and restaurants coming towards you. You can hear in the distance the sounds of industry in the market nearby. Yes?
Do we see the fishermen's trade seem to be pretty prolific? A lot of people unloading fish and stuff. Things
Yeah,
are good?
absolutely.
Nice.
You can literally see hauls of fish coming into Saltmarsh, and a number of dock workers are bustling around to keep up. It seems that the fish industry is booming and has returned back to normal.
Sweet.
And this is where we are going to take our break as we see the members of the ship running off of... Oh, they're walking at normal pace. Tully runs. You just see Tully running and disappearing into the throngs of the market.
I'm gonna
this-
need somebody to like keep an eye on Tully, make sure he actually comes back.
And we'll be back in about 5 minutes. We're going to take a break here, grab some water, grab your drinks and snacks, and we'll be back here in a minute. Thank you, everybody. So, we see a montage here of the group making their way through Saltmarsh. I have a feeling that it wouldn't be too wild to say that your first priority would be to drop off the lizard folk representatives to the Saltmarsh Council. You are immediately given an audience before the council, and we see everyone there. We see Manistrad Copperlocks, we see Edda Oland, we see Anders, we see Primewater. Everyone is there, including as well as Fireborn. When the lizard folk are presented, you can immediately see that everyone at the table is impressed. The lizard folk tell a tale of how you immediately went to assist their people and how you've helped them with this rather tricky issue that they had with their guardian crocodile. And you managed to do it without using violence. And they, at least a violent end, right?
Yeah.
Just kidding. There was a lot of violence.
Yeah.
But you didn't murder the thing. Like, you managed to find a resolution where it spared the creature's life. And everyone at the table seems very curious and very interested. Occasionally, as they are telling the story of what happened, you see even Primewater, who has been very aloof, sipping his wine, seeming quite bored with the various tasks that are brought before the Saltmarsh Council. Even he's leaning forward and listening and absorbing what's going on. We see the lizard folk are escorted out as they are given a special lodging to make sure that they will be both safe and comfortable. And there is a closed meeting with the Saltmarsh Council. After a bit of waiting, you are invited back in. And Ida Oland, the head of the council, says to you, "Well done. I wish to let you know that the council has decided Saltmarsh will go to war against the Sahagin. We will join the efforts of the lizard folk and their allies. You have done well in your mission, and as such, you are most deserving of your reward."
And what was our reward again?
Money! You see, there's a big chest of gold right in front of you.
That's right, gold. I do like it.
Gold is nice, yeah.
Indeed.
Well, we have many preparations to make. Please keep to yourselves this declaration that we've made. We want to ensure that we have both the permission of the king and also make arrangements so that we can be prepared for war.
I
But
got a
for now-
question.
Yes.
Is anyone gonna do anything about that arsehole wizard?
Keledek?
Yeah,
Oh, yes, him.
Kella Dick is more like.
good one.
Oh,
How dare you? How dare you refer to our esteemed town wizard in such a way? What has he done to merit such a name?
Well, he cursed the god of the lizard folk in the first place.
What?
yes.
And he kidnapped and stole from two of the members of our party?
That's right.
Yeah, he.
Eyewitness.
Yeah, both of our eyes, because we were captured. Also stole the purple, these purple crystals we've been finding as well. He seemed to be very adamant about taking them.
Do you
And
display the crystal that you have?
didn't I give the crystal
We-
to?
No,
I
we
gave-
had given the one to Anders. It is the same crystal I gave to Anders after
yes.
the quest.
Okay.
Because I gave the new one that I had to the lizard.
Yeah.
Anders
Small.
says, "Oh yes, I still have it. It is at my home. I can bring it before the council." You can tell from the general vibe that most of the people in the room are completely unaware of what has happened, and this is the first time they're hearing about a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and
I
I
just
guess-
remembered we didn't report it.
And I guess, we did find one of these crystals inside of Thousand Tooth.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that he put it there, though.
We don't.
Yeah, come on. He totally did.
I don't.
Okay,
Hey, Paul.
I guess
Paul.
maybe he totally did.
Hey, okay. Look, as much as he kidnapped me and Paul, and he took the crystals, I don't know if he is the one behind putting crystals in people. All I know is that there seems to be some kind of magical evil to these crystals, and he seemed to really want to get his hands on it.
Nor do
And
we
then
know.
he ran away after he took them from us.
Yes, but we
Yeah.
also do not know that those crystals are unique to the cave we found them in.
Yes.
All right. I think it sounds like we need to put down a formal complaint. Are you reporting the wizard Keledek?
Maybe it's an investigation, inquiry. Yeah, inquiry.
Do you have
I believe
proof?
that's on. I believe that's on Finn and Pull to make that decision on whether it's reported.
Well, I don't care. It depends if he's gonna do anything about it.
So
I don't
I'm
want to
afraid
waste
of-
my time. What? We have our own business. But if he's gonna mess us about again, I want to know in advance.
There's a part of me that wants to, but then also I don't know if I want to meet his wrath if he gets really pissy about it.
You see Galen Primewater lean back in his chair again. He was previously just completely enraptured with everything he had to say, but he's resumed his normal pose, leaning back, feet up, a glass of wine in his hand. He says, "It sounds like a petty squabble between them. Personal issues. I don't think this is worthy of the attention of the council."
Well,
I'm gonna
I think
look
if-
at. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Go for
yeah,
it.
as you're looking, I say, well, if he's the mighty wizard and he's trusted, I think he should be able to weather some questions. Don't you think?
Well, are you
to the
going to put
council.
in... Yeah. Are you going to put in a complaint or not? Are you reporting or not? Are you doing anything actionable or not?
Look to Finn.
You know, magic is a curse and a blessing. Yeah, no. If he's innocent, then I'll be the first one to apologize to him. But if he's starting to mess with these crystals and there's a power that he's not telling us, we need to know for the safety of everyone. So yes,
You see Galen Primewater just take a long sip, just...
Alan, what would you prefer happen? Would you rather have control of the situation, or would you rather have the group that has single-handedly brought rain back to your city, taken care of various duties for you, taken care of a smuggling operation, wreak havoc on this wizard in your town?
Well, Keledek has done nothing but service to the council thus far. But if you say it's worth a report, then it's worth a report. I just see no business in name-calling or making a fuss about things if you don't intend to follow through. So very good on you, Finn Carson, that you wish to put in something to do about it. Long sip.
Does he say
Can I
long sip
in-
too?
No, he doesn't say
My-
long sip. Insight check. Anybody can do
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
I want to insight check him.
Do it. Insight. Wow, that's a nat 20.
Oh,
Garen with a
And Arlen still.
23. Arlen with a 24. Paul with a 17. Finn with a 14. KayBee?
No, I trust my boss.
Okay. So for Paul and Finn, you kind of just believe what he says. Like, it does make sense, right? Like, this is a man that is the richest person in Saltmarsh, who's responsible for all of the merchant trade here. So he might seem like this really frilly, luxurious kind of, what's the word? Gluttonous person, but he gets things done, and it makes sense that he thinks like this, and that he's saying, put your money where your mouth is, right? Are you going to do it or not? For both Garen and Arlen, you managed to see behind the veil just a tiny bit here. You kind of ask yourselves, why is he acting like this? And there's definitely been a series of events that have happened where Galen has proven he is very aloof. He doesn't seem to pay much attention to what's going on, but he's been very perceptible. You can tell that this is a man that wears many masks and many faces. And this whole air of distancing himself, being relaxed, it's for show. And you see that this is a very cunning man. And asking yourself, why would he challenge you like this? Why would he dismiss you? This is a test. He's judging you for what you're doing here. And he's got a reason behind it. You don't know what the reason is. There's more to this moment than pushing your buttons. Anders says to the group, well, if you need help filling out the reports, I can assist you. I have the crystal at home. We could put it in with your case.
Great.
Would be appreciated, Anders.
Very much so.
Well, Paul is discouraged. He grew up in the streets of a big city, and he knows that my word against rich people's word just gets me kicked. So he basically is. Once that guy challenged him, he's like, nah, forget it. This is not for me. It's not gonna end well. I don't care. It's not that important. And just ducking away.
Do we all see this? Is Paul kind of overt about it? Okay.
Yeah, you may not know what it means, but he's definitely kind of lost focus on this whole event.
Mm-hmm. Ida says, well, we will begin investigation then. But until we have any answer of them, or any answer from the king, we will be making preparations. We will be continuing communication with Otho Kent and her people. It will be some time. And I do believe that I can speak for the lot of us that the council will call upon you again for your help.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I think also the ambassadors from the lizard folk, I think they also want to talk about trade.
And I bring out a small sack that I've got where I have samples that Sora had given me of some different things, and I just quickly like lay them out.
They got some medicines, they got some food items, and some craft items. I think, there's things that could be of interest to local tradespeople. So
Very well. And she looks to Gellin Prime Water, and you hear a deep groan of wood as he shifts in his seat. He sits up, he leans forward, he
And
looks
I
at
start
the
to go through.
items.
I start to go through the properties, everything that Sarah had explained to me, things that I thought, from my fairly substantial knowledge about nature, what was interesting, potentially of value, and the focus of that conversation with Sarah had been things that were of potential interest to the community here. So
Okay.
something could get traction.
Yeah. Roll me a persuasion check here.
I think I'm going to try to be persuasive using my intellect, using being the nerd rather than being charismatic. I'm not trying to compel. I'm trying to really be detailed.
I will allow this. I think that makes perfect sense.
So what role would be appropriate? Nature, intelligence?
I'll say go ahead and roll me a history check.
I can do that.
29. Okay. Okay, KayBee. Okay. You can see that Prime Water is absolutely interested here. There's a shine to his eye, and he asks questions. And he picks up the items, he inspects them quite closely, and he, by the end of it, says, "We can absolutely do business. This seems like excellent stock. And I do actually have a few items that I would like to procure from the marsh, and perhaps our new lizard folk friends can give us some guidance."
I think that'll be a good relationship. Both ways. There's things they want to.
I do think so as well. It will be mutually beneficial. And Ida kind of nods and says, "KayBee, you will be working with Gellin Prime Water to establish trade networks and routes."
Oh, okay.
Very good. If there is nothing else, I will call this meeting to a dismissal.
Very well.
And the group leaves, and the doors of the council close behind you.
And after we leave, Arlen will kind of sidle up next to Paul. "Don't worry, if they don't handle it, we will."
Yeah. Hope he better not mess with us again.
It'd be a bad decision on his part.
This is true. Don't forget, though, we may not be as wealthy as them, but things we've done, we have influence here.
Gotta speak truth to power, right?
Indeed. I may, after the meeting is over, speak with Firebrand and Anders.
All right. Just make sure to get back to the ship tonight.
Oh, I think I may wait until tomorrow to speak with them. I'm not sure they'll be done with their meeting in a reasonable time tonight.
All right. And Stella, how much gold did we get as a reward?
I
Yes.
don't remember, because I'm pretty sure that y'all did some... You did some haggling, I think.
Yeah, we did negotiate a higher reward.
We did
didn't
negotiate a higher,
Yeah, so...
Probably like
don't remember.
1,000
A lot
gold.
of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Good.
about right.
How many
Uh,
beers
um,
can we buy?
Yes.
A lot. Yes, the
I'm
answer
gonna go
is yes.
buy a lot of beers.
Okay.
Let me put in my sheet real quick. Lots of money. Got it.
We see the hours of the day slip by as everyone goes about their own business. You're welcome to all the shops, you're welcome to any of the establishments that are open, and you find that business is quite ripe here in Saltmarsh tonight. And we'll skip forward and go to when everyone is gathered back at the ship. You see that Book underneath his arm has Tully in tow. Tully seems to be complaining and crying. And he deposits Tully on the deck of the ship and says, I'm sorry to carry you so indelicately, but Captain's orders are orders. And Tully says, all right, I'm here. And he begins to shuffle his way towards his bedroom.
I'm gonna slip Book 5 gold.
Oh, Book just takes it, doesn't make a fuss, puts it in his pocket, and then begins to have a drink. Is there anything anyone wants to do before you go to bed tonight?
Paul comes back super wasted and just passes out on his bed, and it doesn't matter if there's steak on it or if it's upside down or anything.
There isn't. You see that... Oh, you don't see anything. Never mind. You just shuffle in there. Okay. Yeah. Anything else from anyone?
I introduced the crew to my new creation, my new Steel Defender. Pieces of poke were thrown in the scrap pile, and after a few hours of work, from my chamber emerges KayBee on a large set of steel legs. It is a chair on a set of legs. It is his new ride.
Oh my god.
He calls it legs.
Wow.
And it has there it is, it's on the map.
Incredible.
Does it make him taller than everybody else?
It makes him as tall as a maybe a full-size man, human. It's a ride. It's a
Here you
chair
go,
and
chat.
legs.
That is just fantastic.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah. I'm ready for anything now.
That's hilarious. Okay. I have an extremely important role that somebody has to make, and it's going to be completely their fault. Does anyone want to volunteer?
Paul will
Can
do
I?
it.
Do we know
Oh.
what kind of role it is?
Nope. You're
I
going
was
to roll
gonna
me
say,
a 1d2.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like, Z, you have 3 nat 20s.
I do have 3 nat 20s. Yeah, sure.
Now this is a 1 or 2, so
I'm rolling it.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have Paul do
Oh.
it. Okay.
It's
Paul
1.
rolled a 1. All right.
Good job.
that's the good one.
Heads.
Okay. So we see the ship docked in Saltmarsh, and the camera pans up. We see a night sky that is completely clear. There's not a cloud in sight. And we see a spray of stars, and it is quite beautiful to behold. And then there's something a little unnerving as we look up to see the blood moon. It is like a ruby cast with firelight. It almost seems to be burning in the sky. And there's a sort of shiver in the night that a fireplace, a blanket just can't really stave off. And you kind of feel it in your bones. And as everyone goes to bed tonight, you toss and turn, except for Pole. Pole passes the fuck out. But you toss and turn, and it's that sort of discomfort where you feel all the muscles in your body aching and your bones just kind of hurt. Eventually, fatigue washes over you, and you are asleep. And when you dream, you all dream together. You all find yourselves on a small island. Music,
What
music,
records did you bring?
music. You're stranded on a small island. What's the one thing you bring? No, I'm kidding. When you kind of come to, you find yourself on a reef-surrounded island. You find yourself in water. You see the shore is not too far away from you. It's within swimming distance. And you see that there seems to be a large boat that has sunk halfway down into a miniature blue hole. What would you like to do? You can move your tokens as you like. You are all snap into consciousness, and you, for all intents and purposes, are now swimming in the shallows of a small island.
Do I get any sense that this is something to do with my club?
You get the sense that you can check, but you are currently swimming, so your hands are empty.
Pole's gonna swim to the shore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll just hop up to the shore.
Okay.
Same with Finn.
I'll say, like, as you're kind of, like, stepping up onto the beach, Arlen, and that is the thought in your head, you find that the club is missing. It's just gone.
Garen's gonna try to
Interesting.
look around.
Okay.
Does he see anything of import at the 14?
Yes. So you see that there are a number of crates and barrels kind of scattered out. It looks like it's a shipwreck of some kind. You don't really know how the ship got there, though. As you're looking around, it seems to be like there's no way that it could have more or less been navigated in. It looks almost as if it's been dropped there. And you see that there are some crates and barrels bobbing in the water beyond. But the most interesting thing is there's a goat just idling on the half-sunken deck. And it is chewing on a mouthful of some kind of green.
Do I
Pole will
recognize
immediately
that?
start talking to him.
Oh, is Garen the only one that sees the goat?
No, everyone sees the goat.
Okay.
Oh.
We'll say that, Garen, you're the first one to see the goat. Is there something that you want to do here?
What is going on? There's a goat and a boat that
Doesn't
I
float.
don't know. That doesn't float. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, I'll ask
No.
the goat what happened.
Okay. So you see Pole coming up to the ship. So the ship is about like 20 feet up. So as you get closer, you don't have eye contact with the goat. You'd basically have to be where Garen is standing on the far side of this small island in order to see the goat.
Well, I'm gonna climb up on the boat and get a better vantage. So I'll just
Okay.
go up there and see if I can hook myself up the prow and climb right on top.
Okay. Yep. So you're the first one to put boots onto the boat. Finn, what do you want to do? What is your reaction when you finally get onto the beach?
And kind of just looking around, wondering what the heck. Where was? He doesn't remember this on the way to here. He doesn't know how the heck he got here. So he's just corner questioning, and then he kind of sees Pole go up to the goat, and he's like, "Well, okay," and then kind of like makes his way over to Pole as he's talking to the goat.
Okay.
Another question. Does this boat look like the sea lily?
Roll me investigation.
Do it, Stella. Don't do it.
Oh,
It's really hard to tell. It's very damaged.
We didn't have a goat.
Can I also investigate?
Yeah. 19.
oh, there we go.
It's got the same bones as the sea lily.
Oh,
dare you.
No!
Arlen's
be
gonna dive in the water.
Careful, Pole. That kind of looks like our boat, sort of.
What?
We don't have a goat.
So,
That's why I said sort of.
so as you say that, I'll say like that's when you like your boots land on the deck here. You look at the goat, and at first glance, the goat is nothing interesting. It is this sort of like gray blonde color, and you can tell it's very dirty, hasn't been washed. But as you kind of look at it closer, you see a third eye opens up, an eye on its forehead. And it is unlike the others. So the first two eyes you had seen are very goat-like. This particular one is more humanoid. It has an iris, a circular iris, and it has this like bloodshot look to it. It is really unnerving. And the iris of it is the same color as the blood moon. The goat looks up at you. And in this grating, throaty croak of a voice, it says in common to you, Pole, "We've been expecting you."
Shit! Paul jumps out of the boat.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
Okay, 18. You land on your
Wow.
feet.
Does Finn hear this at all too?
Yeah, I think everyone hears this.
I'm talking the goat, not him yelling shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's speaking in common.
Okay. All right. Oh. Finn is also kind of nervous. Like, Paul, did you try to speak with it first, or is it just?
It spoke to me. It spoke common, and it's got an extra eye, and it looks like the blood moon. I'm getting out of here. Where's our boat?
I think you just jumped out of it.
I think you just jumped out of it.
Shit!
Arlen steps onto the boat
Okay, hold on.
and kind of like swims around.
Arlen, before you get on the boat, we'll say that you're swimming, so you're like here, right? You're in the
Okay.
water.
Mhm.
So you, as you kind of swim away from the shore and towards the sunken part of the boat, you realize this is a blue hole. You realize that it goes down, 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 much further than your dark vision allows you to see. And you can see, roll me a perception check. What do you see?
Even my improved dark vision
Yes.
of 300 feet.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Nice. Perception check.
Yes, please.
Mhm.
15. Okay. You can see there are things moving in the darkness of the water. Large shapes that swim about much too fast for you to focus on. So you have a choice here to either ignore them or perhaps pursue them for a closer look.
I'm kind of curious about this goat.
Okay. Okay, so you decide to go up onto the ship. What do you do?
Hello?
The goat turns around, clip clop, clip clop. "We've been expecting you."
All right. I believe I've been expecting this conversation as well.
Roll me an insight check.
Oof.
Okay, 10. You hear the voice almost split into 3. And it says, "Really? Really? Really?"
So, what is it that we need to talk about?
You see the goat kind of turning to look at Garen. What do you do here, Garen?
I'd say he, as Arlen was talking to it, he would have scaled up, and as the goat turns to look at him, he probably gets that look again, remembering that unease he felt at the blood moon, and then again when he cut his blood into the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably one of the first times in his life gripped with fear.
Okay. The goat kind of looks between the two directions, addressing everyone at large as it says, We are the Sisters 3. We have brought you here to answer your wishes.
Wait.
The goat
Oh.
looks to you, Garen, and says, We want your shadow to pay for the cloak of darkness you seek.
I don't. What will happen if I give you my shadow?
Yes or no? Do we have a deal?
Yes.
The goat suddenly opens its mouth, and you see a wicked hand coming out. You see that it is withered and wrinkly, kind of gray-green in color, covered in slime with long black nails that are sharp and crooked and broken. And the hand extends out to you for a handshake out of the goat's mouth.
He looks at it kind of tentatively and then reaches out and grasps the hand.
Okay. All of a sudden, anyone that's watching, I'm going to say Finn and KayBee, you have a chance here to move if you like. From where you're standing, you can't see up because it's 20 feet up.
Can we move up onto the ship?
You can move onto the ship, or you can move back to where Pole is if you want to see what's going on. Because right now you're like up against the ship and it's 20 feet up, so you can't see.
I'm gonna go on the ship. With
Okay,
Garen.
cool. All right, so now everyone can see what's going on. As soon as Garen shakes hands with this claw that's coming out of the goat's mouth, you see Garen's shadow just disappear. And the hand rescinds, and the mouth of the goat closes. And it turns to Arlen and says, We want your insight to give your friends the ability to breathe underwater.
My insight.
Yes or no? Do we have a deal?
No.
It turns away from you and turns to Finn. We want your luck to bring back your lost love.
Oh, Finn, that's perfect.
So I have no luck, huh? That's great. Thank you.
Earlier, you said you would do anything.
I did say I would do anything. And I'd feel a lot luckier with her around than I would without.
You see the mouth open. This disgusting hand comes out.
He's very hesitant and he gives a deep breath and shakes it.
Okay. When you pull your hand back, there's a sort of slime that's residual on your hand. Pull it back. You don't feel any different. You don't see anything different. The goat kind of turns and begins to clip-clop towards the edge here. KayBee, can you roll me a history check? Wow.
Wow.
That is a nat 1 with your plus 10 history.
Wow.
Alright.
Hit me.
No, you can't. You can't redeem a blessing here. Okay.
Hit me.
The moment, this is intense. You can't really make heads or tails of what's going on. I think it's just so immersive that you don't stop to ask questions too deeply. You don't try to dig deep into the recesses of your mind of what makes this. You see deals are going on. Arlen has declined. The other two have accepted. And the goat is looking expectantly out towards Pole and you. Come closer.
So the goat's at the edge of the boat.
Yeah. You
I
can
go closer.
Okay.
I guess I'm watching as I do to see anything scary that comes out of the goat. But I get closer. I go
You
to the
see
edge of the
the
boat.
goat like hop back to where it was, encouraging you onto the ship.
Well, I guess. Okay.
Climb up and I look around.
Okay.
And actually, what I've been doing since everyone else has been running around, I believe that I'm in a dream. Right.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get context. I've been looking. I was looking at the boat. People are talking about, hey, this is our boat. I've been looking at the plants. I've been getting a sense of the weather. From my assessment, is this a place that doesn't make sense? Is the weather different? Are the plants different? Are we, do I believe that we're far removed, like even an entirely different realm?
Roll me an investigation or perception check. 23 investigation. Okay. As you peer around with immense scrutiny, you see that the trees, the weather, the air, the water, the sounds, they all make sense. It seems like you're somewhere in the middle of the ocean. You've seen islands like this before. Maybe not
Okay.
exactly like this, but you've
Sure.
seen them before. However, that 23 investigation, you notice that there are no birds. You do notice there are birds. They look like the same birds that Pole had seen in the swamp. You see that there are some rodents that scurry nearby. You see there are snakes, there are toads. These are
So
all
almost-
pests that
So
you had
almost
seen.
perhaps like it's assembled from our memories.
You could make that jump.
Okay.
You just get the sense that not everything is as it seems. It could be a dream. You don't
could
know
be,
if
it could be manufactured in some way, right?
it definitely feels manufactured.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, you called me.
Kiss
This'll be
me,
interesting.
bright loom. We want your history to grant you your wish to undo your promises.
I don't think I can do that.
The mouth opens up. The hand comes out in offer.
That's disgusting. No.
Very well. Bring your friend, Pole of Amundfort.
Hey, Paul. Wishes come true. What was your wish?
Well, I just wanted to get Tully to clean my room, and I can do that by myself. I don't need a scary goat to shake its tongue hand with me and figure that out. Forget it. I already got a patron. He will take care of me. I don't need whatever you are.
Maybe the goat will take it to the next level.
Nope. No goats. Bye.
Oh my god. Okay. You just hear this unearthly cackle. 3 disembodied voices that are coming vaguely from this 3-eyed goat. And you hear it mock Pole as it says,
We see you have been God-touched, and we wish to say that Heward is falling. He will fail you. You will not have his guidance forever, young one.
Yeah, well, what do you know?
We know many things.
And you just hear like a just echo, echo, echo over this small island.
Paul is like, la 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 la. I don't hear them.
All right. You see the goat turn around and begin to head towards the water.
And it says, "Our business is concluded. You may go back to sleep."
I'm gonna do some swimming.
Okay. Do you want to swim ahead of the goat or behind the goat?
Behind.
Okay. The goat goes into the water. You see Arlen turn around and begin to pursue. What does everyone else want to do?
I'm gonna loot. I climbed down, and I'm gonna check out these barrels.
Okay.
think I think Finn's in a very like transit sort of state of like very confused because he doesn't feel any different. He doesn't see her appear. He doesn't nothing. So he's wondering if maybe something was taken by him, taken with him that he doesn't realize is gone yet. Or if nothing was taken at all and it's just false hope. And so he's just questioning everything.
Okay. Garen, I think you immediately notice your shadow is gone. You do not cast a
Yes.
shadow anymore.
Garen is trembling. He's not even sure why he accepted yet. And he's just kind of looking around. What have I done?
KayBee. Roll me an investigation check. As you open the barrel in front of you, it's almost like a geyser. Snakes just begin pouring out of the barrel, and it's just washing out onto the island all around you. They're slithering over your boots, crawling up your legs. You have released a swarm. It's impossible the number of snakes that were in it that are streaming out. It's just coming out and not stopping.
What a crazy dream.
Okay, Paul, is there anything that you want to do here?
Paul's freaked out. So he doesn't know what to do. I think he wanders around the island and then just wanders back. He's just kind of pacing and he doesn't know what to do.
Okay. Arlen, you dive into the water. This blue hole goes very, very deep. You see the shapes that are moving underneath the water. They hover. And you see the goat literally dissolve into bubbles. It's just gone. Roll me a perception check. 13. You see 3 distinct shapes. They are humanoid. You can't see the details of them. You see that the water here is very viscous. There is a number of things that float around. It's very polluted. It is entirely unlike the rest of the island. The water here seems foul in a way. Almost slimy against your skin. What do you want to do here? You want to get closer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an adventurer.
I'm so glad you decided to get closer, because let me introduce you to 3 sea hags. I'm going to need everyone to roll me initiative. Please select your tokens.
Oh, great.
My gods. Oh dear.
Maybe they'll roll bad too.
They rolled a 3. I really dislike how it defaults to whispering. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. At the top of the turn order is Finn. However, Arlen, you are about 200 feet underwater. So, Finn, I think what you notice here is that Arlen has been gone a while.
Alan's been going a long time, and he'll look over at like the darkness of like the water, and it'll dawn on him. She swam down there, didn't she? Ah, damn it. None of us can swim down there, can we? And he'll look over to Garen.
I don't know. No, I don't think we can.
And I guess he'll kind of look over. Is KayBee too far away for me to look over and talk to him?
No, you look down. You see KayBee is almost swimming in snakes.
KayBee, are you okay?
It's okay. I'm gonna try to take one home, make it a pet. But there's too many of them.
They're not biting you
No.
or anything.
Oh, okay. You've been very investigative about this whole thing. What do you suppose I think, have you noticed that Arlen's been gone? I don't know if any of us can save her. Wherever she is.
You're wrong. You're wrong
I
to
am?
think that you're wrong to think that you can tell the boss what to do.
Oh, well. I can't tell her anything. I don't know where she is.
This team is built on trust.
Okay. Pole, is there
Yeah.
anything you want to do?
Oh, Paul just realizes he's just been wandering around aimlessly, and Arlen might be in trouble, so he's just gonna dive in and start swimming down there.
Okay. KayBee, is there anything you want to do here?
Arlen's in trouble?
You see Pole dive into the water.
I'm coming, Arlen. I drop my snakes. I'll see you later. And I start swimming out. I pull my weapons and I start swimming out. I
Okay.
don't know if I can do anything.
All right.
I'm gonna
It is Arlen's turn. However, this is where we're going to end the session for tonight.
Oh my god. I was ready.
Oh, well, you
Wow.
can be ready in 2 weeks' time. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Really, really appreciate it. Where's the music? There it is. I'm Stella Luna. This has been Secrets of Saltmarsh. We play this every other week, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We really hope that you can join us for our next session. But before we end here, I'm going to go around and let everyone tell you about who they are, where you can find them, and what their favorite part of today's episode was. And we'll start with Arlen.
Hi, it's me, Arlen, also known as Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Emma Panada. On Twitch, I run TTRPG games. On Twitter, I shitpost and troll my friends. I'm also writing a TTRPG called All the Witches. You can find information for that on Twitter at allthewitches_. We also have a dice giveaway going on until Friday. So if you want to enter a giveaway for some custom dice, from a local dice maker, then click on the Twitter link and check the pinned tweet and just like, follow, and retweet, and you're entered. So do that. But my favorite part for tonight, I loved all the blood moon shit. It's so cool. Like,
Thanks. I made all that up.
it was a lot of fun. Like the whole like aspect of like, oh, drop some blood in the ocean on a blood moon and you get a wish, and then we get to see the fruit of our labor here. And now I'm gonna die, but it's fine. You know, I think I can solo 3 sea hags. It'll be fine.
I'm just gonna say, if you said yes, this next fight would be very different. Because your friends would be able to breathe underwater.
Yeah.
But they can't.
I
and
thought
you're
about
200
that.
feet down in the water.
I thought about that, but I would have had to give up my insight, whatever that means. And
Oh,
I
what can
like
you-
my insight.
Making strange deals with 3-eyed goats that have like a hag hand coming out of their mouth. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be fine, right?
Yeah, this is fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Thank you. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Geek Dice.
Yeah, I'm GeekDice. You can find me only here, playing KayBee, having a lot of fun. D&D is good for me. D&D is good for you too. So join us, join our community, join us on Discord, get into the D&D. My favorite part tonight, I guess, just a couple things quick. Good and bad wish choices. That's always a thing. And I think more importantly for me today, I really love how Paul consistently sticks to his perspective. He sticks to his guns. He is determined, and he has a vector, a direction. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
I loved the dynamic at the council where Pole like immediately like shut down when Prime Water challenged the group, and just seeing like the contrast of that and everyone else, that was really compelling energy. That was cool. Thank you, thank you. Next we have GodfatherWraith.
Hey there. Yeah, so I really don't have a online presence, but I will say my favorite part was definitely Finn's lore dump. That I deeply enjoyed that. But yeah, so you can pretty much just find me here in Stella's chat or various other members of the community when they stream, and in Stella's Discord. So
Awesome, thank you. And also you can occasionally see pictures of Max,
oh yes,
one
we
of the
get
cutest
pictures.
kittens in the whole wide world.
Yeah, she is my sweetheart, my widow baby.
Thank you, thank you. Next we have Indicarus.
Hi, I'm Indicarus. I play Pole, who had a weird day today, as did we all. But it was already mentioned, but it definitely was my favorite part. Was really the ending and how it was a culmination of sort of the beginning. The Blood Moon stuff that Emma mentioned was excellent, but particularly Arlen's part of it is what I loved. That she made a wish to help everybody in her group, and when she had the chance to make the bargain for it, she would not give up a piece of herself to give something to the rest of her friends. And then it also turns out that she needs to have done that. And it hurts.
I told you actions are gonna have consequences.
It's brutal in a kind of a Greek tragedy kind of way. I like that we've got that was a really, I don't know how that it was great planning on Stella's part. I'm
Cosmic
impressed with
irony.
that.
Yeah.
Super good. I just love it.
Don't feel bad for Arlen because she did it. I mean, she made that wish not to help you all, but because she wanted to go look at that thing and was disappointed we had to go to town. And then, like, immediately when she got the opportunity to like have that come to fruition. She was like, no, I'm not gonna give up any of my stuff to like have let them breathe underwater. Like,
Arlen's too selfish to give up something for other people.
absolutely.
But the other thing is that Stella is, not Stella, Arlen is bulletproof. Like, no matter what she
I am
does,
also bulletproof. Thank you.
That's good, yeah. But she just, there are no consequences. There's never been any consequences. And now it looks like there's going to be, but it's like, it's like the cliffhanger in like an old 30s like pulp adventure. You're like, it's impossible. How's Arlen ever going to get out of this one? But Arlen's the hero, so she's gonna get out of it, right? That's what everyone's cynical about plot lines has got to think. But because it's a role-playing game and we roll dice and stuff, maybe not. We'll see.
Just for complete transparency, I think Arlen, in this moment, you totally come to the realization that you're not where the club was gonna take you. And
yeah.
that was the 1d2 that I had y'all roll.
Yeah.
It was either gonna be the blood moon or your patron. Your patron did not win this one. See, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Someone else rolled the die. Next we have Zombie Fighter.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm Zombie IMZ. I'm whatever those names you have to call me. I'm the lore keeper and clip master. Clipmaster, I'm sorry. Captain Z of the Good Ship Clip. I probably do too many clips, but that's up to your own discretion. You can find me on Twitter at ZombieFighter89. That's where I will do most of my posting, retweeting stuff. I make all of the promo videos for this game, the Witchlight game, and for the Strixhaven game. So if you like any of that, what you see, go ahead and give me a follow. I'm also looking to do video editing / Twitch clipping projects. If any of y'all want to hire me, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. I also am on Twitch sometimes, twitch.tv/ZombieFighter89. I'm either playing Kirby or I'm doing Twitch editing stuff with Stella's wonderful permission. So that's always fun. And then 10 p.m. on Monday nights, I do a nerdy news show with a friend of the channel, B Street Holmes, who's in the Witchlight game. Same with Emma, who's also in that Witchlight game. We talk about nerdy news, all that kind of stuff. Favorite moment for me, I'm going to kind of do like 3 for me. One is the one that everyone's mentioned, which is the blood moon and the result of everything that's happened with that whole thing. I thought that was kind of neat that was brought on. 2 was the lore dump. I was hoping I wasn't taking too much time because all I kept thinking is, how do I shorten this so I don't take 2,000 hours on the stream for this? But it's been important to me because I've worked really, really hard on this character. So I want to get as much details as possible without hogging the spotlight. And then 3, which is something I don't think anyone brought up at this one, but I think all of us love Tully shenanigans, was Paul coming back into his room to find it completely destroyed by Tully. I thought was just so great and wonderful, and how much we just love Tully. It just what'd you do? That's all on my stuff. What'd you do that for? Just the whole it was great. I loved it so much.
Yeah, Tully has easily become one of my favorite NPCs that we're constantly coming into contact with.
You don't have to live with him.
Yeah.
That's
no,
true.
I gotta live with a dragon who scratches all my stuff and then just makes a pile for himself.
That is so true. I would not be able to live with Tully. Nope.
I would rather Ben.
Yeah. I'm Stella Luna. This is my channel. If you'd like to support this content, please give us a follow. That's a free way that you can help us, and you can also get notifications for when we go live. So next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m., we will be playing The Wild Beyond the Witchlight with our other Patreon group. This one will be back in 2 weeks, same time. And the only real announcement that I have is this Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be playing our second episode of Urban Shadows 2. That is going to be emceed by the Noir Enigma. Please, 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 please come say hi. It is really, really fun, super chaotic. They are a bunch of supernatural characters that live in a modern world, and it's essentially like a secret world that most mortals don't know about. And they have been pulled into some business where they're gonna have to find God and potentially kill God. It is a very interesting story, and it is very, very chaotic. I would really appreciate seeing y'all Saturday night.
Oh, that I'm
9
so
p.m.
happy that Saturday game is back. Oh, I
I'm
love that crew
trans.
so much.
I love killing God.
Well, then this content is for you. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Please take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Wait, Stella, what was your favorite part?
Yeah, Stella.
Well, they've all been mentioned, honestly. Like, Tully, the Blood Moon shit. I came up with that. I did that.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kind of proud of it because we've been doing all the book stuff and we're kind of doing like an in-between chapter right now.
Yeah.
And I also only had 30 minutes to prep and I came up with all that in 30 minutes.
Nice.
Good job.
Nice.
You did it.
Thanks.
GG.
Professional. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's about it. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.